All right, so this is an essay that I showed a former IELTS examiner. I asked him how was it. He said it was good. He had no suggestions on making it better. So I thought, look, every examiner is different, so it doesn't mean it's going to be great for every examiner, but it's clearly a good one. So I think we'll start with this as our example. So let's look at the question and we'll break it all down. Many people believe that zoos should be closed because it's cruel to keep animals locked up. Others argue that they provide a valuable service to society and should continue their work. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. So let's break it down. The first thing we need to know is our opinion, okay? Have an opinion. I recommend choosing a side, not sitting on the fence or being in the middle. So firstly, I'm going to go with the second argument. The second argument being that they provide a valuable service to society. Okay, but I also need to, of course, acknowledge the first side. And lastly, I need to give my own opinion. That's important too. We'll get to that later. So, my introduction, all you need to do is paraphrase what they give you. Here they gave me this sentence. Many people believe that zoos should be closed. That's the argument right there. That's the key, because it's cruel to keep animals locked up. So I've paraphrased that. I introduce it as an argument. It's been argued that zoos should have no place in society. Okay, in other words, should be closed because of the cruelty associated with keeping animals in captivity. In other words, I'm just paraphrasing because it is cruel to keep animals locked up. You can see already I'm showing my vocabulary range. I've used the expression in captivity. This is not a weird word, a rare word, or a fancy word. It's the precise word. And I'm able to replace the word locked up because I've got a good vocabulary. So this is the kind of thing that you're getting 9s for in your lexical resources, because you knew that expression in captivity can replace the expression locked up. Anyway, next job is to paraphrase the second argument. However, other people feel that they should remain open because of their value to people and conservation. In this essay, I will discuss both views and give my own opinion. This sentence is optional. You don't have to have it. It's a formula sentence as well, so don't try and be tricky or fancy with it. Keep this one really simple, or just don't even have it. Okay, you don't even have to have it if you don't want it. Now, I'm just going to go back and check to see if people can follow this. Good. All right. Good. All right, back to it. So yeah, someone mentioned, isn't that mechanical or whatever? Yeah, look, I've asked examiners, they're okay with this kind of sentence, but it's also not necessary. I mean, if you don't feel comfortable writing a formula sentence like this in this essay, blah, 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 just drop it. You don't have to write it. Okay. In the end, it's kind of, it doesn't matter if you put it in or not. Just my point is, don't be fancy with this sentence because it's a formula sentence anyway. You'll just sound like you're trying to show off. Show off in expressions like in captivity. When you need the precise word, that's your time to shine. Okay. By the way, in the future, I've got like a digital pen that I could scribble with. I'll use that in the future. So for now, I'll just have to throw my mouse around and you'll have to try and see that. Okay, next we have our first body paragraph. Now, first I'm going to do the paragraph that is not my position, because that's what we normally do in real life. When you argue, you acknowledge someone's opinion first, and then you give your opinion. That's just normal real life stuff. So that's what I do. I acknowledge the argument that is not my own first. So I start with the topic sentence. There are a number of reasons why people may think zoos should be shut. Okay, so have I given the reasons? No, okay? It's not the job of the topic sentence to give the reasons. The reasons why zoos should be shut are given in the next sentences. Okay, so why should they be shut? It could be argued that keeping animals in confined spaces for the mere purpose of entertaining visitors and tourists is unethical. Notice I said it could be argued. This is actually softening language. It's distancing me from it. It's passive, okay? If I say keeping animals in confined spaces is unethical, I've just contradicted what I'm going to say in body 2. So this expression, it could be argued that, is very important. It's absolutely critical because I'm preventing a contradiction. You know what? I want to highlight stuff. So sorry if this is too small, but I'm going to highlight some things here. All right. So again, that's my topic sentence. Again, you don't give the reasons here. You just say there are some reasons. Then you give your first reason. And I personally do it in 2 sentences normally. Now, if I'm shooting for a 9, I might even shoot for 3 sentences, but you know what? You could probably get a 9 with just 2 anyway. As I said, the examiner who read this said it was fine. So 2 sentences to introduce my first reason, okay? Could be argued, as I said, that keeping animals in confined spaces for the mere purpose of entertaining visitors and tourists is unethical. Now, I need a follow-on sentence. I can't stop at 1 sentence because otherwise I'm not expanding on my ideas, which means I'm not going to get a 7 in TR. And it also means I'm not extending my answers so I can't get CC, a good score in my coherence and cohesion either. So always give at least another sentence to any point you want to make. So, unethical, that's the idea of this sentence. So I want to break off from that. If people really wanted to see animals, they could visit national parks and observe how animals behave in a natural environment. Okay? So notice, if sentences, really useful if you don't know what to say. If you want another sentence, just chuck an if sentence in. Really easy. Furthermore, this is like signposting that this is a new point. That's the purpose of that word. Furthermore, not all zoos treat animals with respect and care. Okay. Let me zoom in again so you can see it easier. Disturbing news images of animals such as elephants and tigers being kept in zoos in Southeast Asia illustrate the cruel way in which animals can be treated in these places. All right. So this is just an example of not all zoos treat animals with respect and care. Okay. And I just say, look, I can prove that that is the case from this next sentence. As you can see, it's really simple stuff, but you don't need to be amazing. You just need to do the simple things well. I'm going to jump back now to the YouTube comments and see what people are saying. Right. Okay. Did you write this essay? Yes, this is my writing. Here, what if I say those? Okay, all right, I'll stick with it. Stick with it being big. So I'm not going to talk about what exactly I could say. I'm just talking about what I have said here. And yes, this is my essay. All right. So next one. However, it is. You know what? Just 1 second. I'm gonna put a bit of color in here so we can see the breakdown a little bit easier of the ideas I'm using. All right. Back to it. So next I want a topic sentence. Now I'm starting with however because I'm letting the reader know that, hey, like this paragraph is in the context of the previous one. This paragraph will be a contrast. Some people use, on the other hand, however is my personal preference. However, it is also clear that zoos do benefit animals and society in a number of ways. Okay, now going back to my previous one, notice it says why people may think zoos should be shut. I'm framing this from the perspective of other people. I said may think. It's a bit softer language. This one, so zoos do benefit animals and society. This is a bit stronger language, okay? I didn't say some would argue and have thought. I said it's clear. So already I'm trying to be a bit stronger in the way I'm setting up this paragraph. So what's my first reason? Okay, why do animals benefit from zoos? Well, firstly, zoos and wildlife sanctuaries are an effective way to protect critically endangered species. All right, I need to expand on that. Please explain. All right. This is because they protect animals from the dangers of poaching, deforestation, and loss of habitat, while also allowing breeding programs. I gave an extra sentence. I don't know why, I just had a bit more to say, so that's fine. Many animals, for instance pandas, could only have been brought back from the brink of extinction with the help of zoos and sanctuaries. So I just expanded with more example here to show how zoos protect endangered species. All right. Now this is my second point. This in addition expression, that is signposting again that I've got a new idea. And that's the purpose of this. In addition, zoos act as a means of creating awareness and educating the general population about the plight of animals in the world. Okay, they create awareness and educate people. Without zoos, by the way, without is it's just a sneaky way to say if not. I'm basically doing another if sentence here. Without zoos, most urban dwellers would never have the chance to see or interact with animals face to face, which would result in even less care being shown about the environment than we see presently. You can see it's really simple stuff, right? It's a firstly point. I've got a this is sentence, okay? Really simple connector. In addition to bringing my second point without something, that's just an if sentence. If you go back to the previous one, same sort of thing, okay? An if sentence here. So really easy stuff. Right. Did I do the rest of that? Yeah, I did. Okay, so let's get to the conclusion. Now, our conclusion is to summarize the two-body paragraphs. Now, if you've read these two-body paragraphs, how would you feel? Well, I'm hoping you feel that, you know what, some zoos are bad, but zoos are important. That's what I'm hoping you felt from my body paragraphs. Okay? Some zoos are bad. We talked about that, you know, horrible tigers kept in a cage. Some zoos are bad. You need to feel that. But you also need to know, look, some zoos are important and necessary and good. That's how I want you to feel. So my conclusion should express that. So in conclusion, although keeping animals in zoos is not ideal, because some of these are bad, right? Elephants, tigers, unethical, blah, blah, blah. They do educate people and protect endangered animals. That's the second body paragraph. Therefore, because they do educate, protect, I believe that zoos, notice this is important, which do not treat animals with cruelty, should continue to operate. I didn't just pick a side randomly. I picked a side, but in the context of if this is not a problem, right? So I didn't say, look, this is one side, this is another, I picked this side. No, I said I picked this side in the context of the other side not being an issue. So I've got no contradiction here. I've looked at both sides. My position is clear. My position is throughout because my position in the conclusion is taken directly from the body paragraphs. I'm not just randomly picking a side. That's about it. That's the basic breakdown of this one. Now we'll go to questions in the comments, see what people have to say. All right, I hope you enjoyed that little breakdown.